Manzelli. I'm the owner of JM Custom Creations Workroom here in Bedford, Massachusetts. And I'm here with my friend Liz Hall.
Hi, I'm Liz Hall. I am the owner of Pinches and Pleats Custom Soft Interiors in Foxborough, Massachusetts. And we just finished up a wonderful day seminar with Janelle Deck for our WCAA chapter, our Eastern Massachusetts chapter, helping us with our processes in our workrooms. And as a adjunct to that, I figured I'd pick Jayna's brain about her beautiful workroom before I head home for the day. So Jayna, can you take me to the beginning of your process? I'm trying to understand how your work flows.
So we should go downstairs. Downstairs we have a small showroom and a little place where we do our receiving before we bring the fabrics up here.
Fabulous.
Okay, let's do that.
Tell me about the nature of your business.
So we're a workroom. We do everything from top treatments to draperies to Roman shades to pillows to cushions. I started out doing a combination of retail and wholesale, and then I decided I really preferred the wholesale aspect of it. So this room was set up as a bit of a showroom, and my idea here was that designers could bring their customers and kind of give them an example of what they might do, what kind of lift systems do they want on their Roman shade. This is lined in cotton sateen with machine standard stitching, and this is lined in cotton sateen with interlining, heavy western flannel, hand stitching, so they can come here and they can feel the panels.
That's a beautiful tool, yes.
And feel the difference, and same thing with the Roman shade. They can actuate the shade and see that this is a blackout method and you don't see any pinholes. So also what we incorporated into this drapery display are some different pleat styles you might ask for. So I didn't make any of these treatments really fancy.
Yeah.
We are here in New England, and we don't do a lot of swags and tails and frills and trim. So this wall was set up just to give people an idea of different fabrics, what you might do, how you might coordinate, you know, a plaid with a print and so on. So this window, I tried to do something here where you can see a cafe curtain made in the burlap style. This is a hardware that my designers like a lot, so I wanted to have that on display. But this piece is very special. This piece I turned into a valance here. It was a collage that was made with my aunt's grandfather's tools from, of course, when he used to use them. He made this collage. It was hanging in her house for many years, and she moved, and I'm the only one that has a barn, so she asked, you know, would I like this, and I decided this was a perfect spot for it. Well, this area here is just a small display of pillows that I've made with some coordinating fabrics to match some of the other things. And I have various labels on them to explain what kind of fill is in here, what size, if you have a 17-inch cover and this one has an 18-inch form, different zippers. You can see an invisible zipper versus this zipper right here was something Donna Cash taught us, how to make a bound zipper a decorative element on a pillow. So when people are interested in their pillows, we can use this area to say what size do you want, how do you want it to feel, do you want trim, do you not want trim. This display is to help clients decide if how many widths they want on their treatment, 1 all the way up to 2. And this was a sample that we did at another workshop when Penny was here from Denton Draperies, and so this is a pleating to pattern, all done in the English method, everything hand sewn. And I even have the glasses here so somebody can take a really close look at it.
Oh, that's great. So Jayna, tell me about your process from receiving fabric to getting it up into your workroom ready for fabrication.
Okay, so the fabric can come in, comes in either through this door or through the garage, doesn't much matter, and we'll put things here on this table. We have our markers and our tape, and we sort of mark the things. And then we bring them upstairs. So, should we go up?
Sure. Jayna, I'm so envious of this workspace. Can you tell me a little bit about what you were thinking of when you did the design? You know, where did this all come from?
Well, my house is down the driveway. This is a barn on my property that we built in about 2014. We needed a garage space anyway, so we were lucky enough to have enough land to put a building that would fit three of our cars downstairs and the showroom that you saw, and then all this space that became the workroom. Now, because I had workrooms before, I had probably moved more times than I should have. I had a few ideas of some efficiency tips and things that we built in to the build. So it just starts right here with the light switches. When you come in, these are tied to some of the switches downstairs. There's one specifically for the stairs.
And everything's labeled.
Everything's labeled. So when it's dark up here, we can still see where we're going down the stairs. And this is my favorite feature on this switch for the irons.
You mean you can turn like all your irons off in one switch?
Yes.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So the other thing we considered when we were building the space is that I just wanted electrical outlets everywhere. So you can see here along the walls, we have these banks of 4, and I think there's probably 6 along this wall, 6 along that wall. I just wanted them everywhere because my idea here was that everything would be on wheels and it would all be reconfigurable for any project. Right, so there might be 2 circuits on this wall and 2 circuits on that wall. The irons are on a separate circuit. So when things are running, we're not at risk of equipment going down because we blew the circuit. So for my most recent project that came in, there are 2 fabrics we're going to use. The fabrics come in, they come up the stairs. We take a little snip off for our work orders, and we would normally store them here. Then we have this is our lining rack. But we also can do fabric inspections here. This is a light, and you put your face fabric here that you're inspecting, and you bring this over to the table, and you can pull your fabric down on the table to inspect it. We always light inspect any fabric that is going to not have blackout lining.
That's a great tool.
And when you build yourself one of these racks, make sure you get 4 swivel casters. Originally we built it with 2 swivels and 2 straights like you would for a luggage cart in the hotel. And it just wasn't maneuverable enough, so I ended up having to change the caster. So now it's very maneuverable and it's so easy to move. So once we have inspected our fabric, we come over to the table and we start prepping our work clipboard. Usually one job gets a clipboard. We have work orders where we attach the little cutting that we took off. We will attach here. And this is just a basic description of what the designer wants. These forms are designed so that the designer can easily fill these out and give them to us. And then, of course, we sit with our tools. I use my iPad a lot to do calculations and my computer, and we fill out forms more like this that have a lot more detail so that
the work order.
Anybody who's making the product can more easily follow this to meet the specifications. So the general idea is that things will hopefully travel in a circle once they arrive. They arrive on the left side, we fabricate here on the left side, things go on and off the tables to the left side, and then when they come back around, on this side here we have a packaging area where we package, and we've got some of our backup equipment there. In case of emergency, and then it gets staged there on the floor until we're ready to bring it downstairs or somebody comes to pick it up.
Nice.
This is a very versatile cart. It sits between the 2 tables generally, but it's designed to move wherever you might need it. The work order that we were just writing up will sit on this table. So this cart has a very interesting history. We use it right now to hold our roll goods, buckram, various upholstery supplies down on the bottom, and it is an old wooden box that actually held my kids' blocks, and it had wheels on the bottom. Then they would push it around the basement, and so once they grew out of the blocks, we added on these side pieces and put some rebar here to hold the rolled goods. Just want to talk a little bit about my work area. This is a prime example of how you can run a successful business and not have to spend a lot of money. As you can see here, we have a folding table, another folding table, some cast-offs from my house to hold the books. But a question I was asked was about this board right here. So this is my inspiration board. And I put things here that make me happy, that inspire me, that give me ideas. We have 15 to-do items here that came out as a result of Ann Johnson coming to the Workroom, and she gave a seminar. So there are things there, and every now and then I look down and I say, what do I need to achieve from this list? These are notes that were sent to me, thanking me for the work that I had done. And of course, the jeans. Everyone asks, why are the jeans here? So these are old jeans, and I put them here as inspiration that maybe someday I would get back into the jeans. And you can see I have blocked out the size for you with this piece of tape here. One of the reasons why the desk is here as opposed to where we come in is that I like to sit here and look out the window. I can see if anyone's coming down the driveway. I can see people approaching the house, if my children are home.
What else happens over here?
So I have an employee, and many times we converse here about our jobs. We write up specific work orders. This is an Excel program that my employee designed to do all the calculations related to making of a Roman shade. And we have a bunch of specifications here. Do you want ribs? What kind of rings do you want? This all gets filled out by me. We go over it together. She double checks all my calculations. And then this would go on a clipboard, similar to the one that we had earlier in the video. And then this gets taken to the table she can begin working on a job without my assistance.
Oh, that's great. That's very efficient. So Jayna, you seem to have a whole lot of storage around here, but love the mezzanine. Tell me about that.
So when we built this barn, you can see it's post and beam, and I wanted these cross pieces to be as high to the ceiling as possible for hanging draperies, but there was a limitation to how high they would allow me to put it. And then when the builder came in to frame out things, he suggested, let's make a mezzanine up here, and we had some extra boards from the build. We put them up here. I have some vinyl up there that makes the floor nice and smooth, and it's where I keep a lot of my offcuts. You can see I have foam up there, some extra pillow filling, and there's a few other things back there, batting and so on, but it's a great place to store things. So this area we designed to allow our draperies to hang out, and we've got one rod set to 96 and one quite a bit higher than 96. What we do with this is we hang multi-width panels, and then we are easily able to fan fold them and tie them up as you see here. But the other thing that we do is more of a special process where if we're using a fabric like a linen or some other kind of fabrics that are known to be grow with temperature, with time or temperature or humidity, we'll make the draperies from the top down, and we'll hang them up here, and we'll leave them unhemmed. And we'll leave them for however much time, a week or two, and then as a two-person process, we measure them to length, top to bottom, mark final length, and then we bring it back to the table to do our final hemming. And we've actually done some calculations and found that saves a lot of time, as opposed to bringing them to the job site and finding they're too short, they're too long, they're not right. Then we have to take them down and bring them back. So it sounds like it's extra work here in the workroom, but it really is a time saver and a money saver too. So then when it comes time to packaging, on a job like this, we'll take our cart, open the plastic, pull this up, and be able to just wrap the draperies right here. Sometimes we put them on hangers. We make these hangers so that the draperies can hang over. Yeah. These are made with our old fabric tubes. And then we have our installation labels here.
For the installer, information for the installer?
Yep, information for the installer just identifies what's in the bag. Things will hang here, and then we bring them downstairs. This is another hanging spot for the installer to pick up.
I notice you have zip ties.
Yes.
You're using zip ties to close off the ends of your...
Yep. So we do use zip ties. We get these very small ones here. And what I like about it is, for me, it's just neater. You get this little thing.
And you can go right to the end. You don't have to waste plastic by putting a big knot.
Plastic.
That's
and
great.
To me, I cut it and it looks neater, and I like that better. So of all my machines, this one has turned out to be my absolute favorite, and something that I wish I had gotten a long time ago. This is a Tacher, and if you've made drapery pleats before, you know you have to sew all the pleats by hand, and it's really tedious, takes a long time, and hurts your hands. So here's a tip from Ann Johnson.
Silicone spray.
Little silicone spray. You have a lid. Pretend this is a pleat, and then All done. So this is one of the things we devised to hold our cuts for draperies, and we have two sets, one at the end of each table. This is just a piece of galvanized pipe, and this is a pipe flange, threaded pipe flange. I put this paper here because sometimes they have a little dirt or grease on them, so that's just to protect the fabric. And then I have these tubes. You can either use plastic tubes or cardboard tubes, and then I just drape my cuts over here, and I have this little board, and I can write Liz panels.
So the first time we came here for a seminar, I think everybody, as they were walking around going, look, 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 this is the one item that I think everybody ran home and did.
Really?
Because how many times does this tape just like spring out? It's so hard to keep it all together. So Jayna put hot glue, spokes basically coming out from the center to keep it all in place. So as you, it just releases as you peel the tape away. It's like such a great
That actually
idea.
was a great tip. I got that tip from somebody, maybe on the forum or another webinar I might have seen. I don't even remember where I got that tip, but that was a great thing to do.
Jayna, thank you, honey. I really appreciate you taking this extra time. I had a great time today at the seminar, and
You're welcome. I loved having everybody, and it's just a joy to be able to share all this with you all.
I'm glad you can share it with us because we all love being here.
It's so nice.